Ladies, it's your time to shine with all things fabulous with First for Women on Afternoon Express. For insurance with a host of fabulous benefits, call 0861 11 18 44 or SMS FIRST to 49267.
Good afternoon, South Africa, and welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonnie Mbuli. It's a Thursday, and true to form, on a Thursday, what is it all about? Fashion, beauty, and fabulosity. We speak to 3 Cape Town-based designers who are setting the Cape Town scene alight with their incredible, innovative designs. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm with the beautiful Jeannie D.
Thanks, Bunny. And today we are celebrating the beautiful you. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the most frequently asked questions about skincare and beauty. And we've got a beauty therapist here today to help us out with that. And also it's the next installment of the fabulous fashion series where fashion director Alexis Chaffe Mey will be giving us some tips on what to wear for any occasion. And we are also joined by our very favorite chef, Claywin Stanley, who's going to be making us something fabulous for high tea, but with a little bit of a nutty twist.
A nutty and zesty twist.
Oh, really?
So it's winter and it's all about citrus, it's seasonal, it's the peak of its deliciousness. So we're making almond scones, my absolute favorite recipe. True story, unbelievable, with a lemon curd. Yum.
Okay, delicious and easy. Can't wait to get cooking with you. Now, remember to cook with us at home. All you need to do is go to our website, Afternoon Express, where you can get our shopping list and, of course, all of the recipes. And I kid you not, earlier this week, I hosted a dinner party and I invited some friends around and I went onto the website and I found the recipe for those Korean ribs that we did a few weeks back. I did them, followed the recipe, and they tasted exactly the same way at home as they did in the studio. So it really, really does work. Also, communicate with us on Twitter. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or make a comment on our Facebook page. But for now, though, let's see who's on Bonnie's couch.
Thank you, Jeannie. It looks like we'll make a woman out of you after all. The one wants to be a kung fu fighter, the other wants to sail yachts around the world. But for now, they're very happy to be strutting their creative stuff as 2 of Cape Town's most edgy fashion designers. Known for their amazing graphic prints, bold colour application and attention to detail, the Adriaan Kuiters label will be showing their latest collection at the Cape Town Fashion Week at the end of July. With us in the studio are designers Henning and Jody Paulsen. Welcome to the loft, gentlemen.
Thanks, Bunny.
Your design label is named after your grandfather.
Yeah.
Please tell us that story. Why?
It's the inspiration that I got through him, through his traveling and his, his sophistication.
And his style
and
in general.
Yeah. Just basically, if you look through photos of him, and just like that's where it all came from.
Your label has been described as Tokyo street style. What are the influences behind it?
I think with our first collection, that we designed together, we developed women's wear, and we really changed the silhouette of the brand. Before it was more streamlined, and then with that collection, it drifted into more of a boxy shape, and this shape is very easy to wear. It's got the fabrics, some of the fabrics we even sourced from Tokyo. And then the first print that I made for our first collection was an eye print inspired by the work of Japanese artist Yohiko Sama. And so, and also the face of our brand is Jay, and he's been our campaign boy for 3 seasons now. So, there's definitely an Asian influence that's inherent in the brand and the clothes.
Your designs are inspired largely by a graphic look. Can you take us through the process?
We start with silhouettes. So we'll pick, this is the shape of our T-shirt, this is the shape of our trouser, et cetera, et cetera. Then what happens is that I take a piece of fabric, which is the size of a T-shirt, and I collage into the fabric. And then I hold it against my body and see what the composition's doing. And then I hand it over to a graphic designer, and he makes a vector file, and then we put it into print.
Awesome. So you've brought some stuff to show us.
Yes.
Wow.
So this first look, starting with the socks, this is our first pair of socks that we designed. They're designed out of mohair fabric. I basically took a zebra pattern and added raindrops on it. The trouser is our autumn-winter trouser, which is a very boxy fisherman cut. The coat, the raincoat, inside there's a pattern, so it's reversible. So the outside's twill and the inside is made out of raincoat fabric. And the T-shirt's a good example of how I use collage work onto the T-shirt composition.
Right. It's also kind of reminiscent of Japanese workwear as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like the clothes to feel quite utilitarian, and so it translates very well from day to night.
Oh, wow.
The three-quarter trousers are pleated on the sides, so they have a nice sense of movement as they walk, and they're unisex. The jacket is just a classic windbreaker, made out 100% wool, and on the inside is a knitted jersey with a zebra print and teardrops.
Oh, wow, that's an incredible jersey.
So, yeah, these like raindrops are kind of like, sort of reminds me of like an African winter.
Yes, yes. What do we have here?
So the sandal is a ballerina's sort of influenced sandal, which has the crisscross that you usually find with ballet pumps. The jacket is a wave maroon and cream knit. The shift dress underneath is made out of crepe. And it's just a nice, beautiful, easy shift dress that you can wear to work and then go out at night. And those are the same trousers we saw Kurt wearing earlier.
Yes.
So they're unisex.
They're unisex,
so
yeah. I'm glad you mentioned they were unisex, because I was like, I think I could look good in a pair of those.
Okay, so our final look is, we call this the Leo jacket after our friend Leo. Like, she's got quite an androgynous style. And it is a unisex jacket that's tied by the waist, the ties at the back. Underneath, she's wearing a T-shirt dress that I made, which says "It never rains," which kind of ties into the teardrops on the socks and the knit. And the skirt that she's wearing is a mock suede that we imported from Japan. And it's pleated and it's a two-tone, so the bottom's chiffon. And so you'll basically see that
it's stiff at the top and soft at the bottom. So it can flow at the bottom, but it's structured at the top.
Wow, this stuff is amazing.
And then the leather bag is printed, so we printed the leather.
I see there's a big movement towards androgyny in fashion. What is that about?
the brand started as a menswear brand, but I really like the women who wear the clothes to feel strong. I like them not to show too much. Of course, it's feminine, but you know, I like the woman who wears the Adriaan Kuiters clothes to not only feel like a bit of a tomboy, but just to feel really empowered in the clothes and not sexualized in any way.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Your line is absolutely extraordinary.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you,
inspiring.
Bonnie. Thank you very much.
Don't go anywhere. After the break, we're making some almond scones in the kitchen, and we speak with Alexis Chaffe Mey in the latest installment of our fabulous fashion series. Don't go away.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, it was somewhere between Venice and London when I was on the Orient Express that I fell in love with scones. And today we are now going to make them, or at least Claire's going to teach me how I can actually make my very own. Claire, how do we start this process?
It sounds so romantic when you're eating scones.
I know, I felt like the queen, really. A little dollop of cream, some strawberry jam.
Oh, they're the best. Seriously, the most delicious recipe. I love them. So it's typically a scone is made with butter, and it's quite short and crumbly. My scones are cream scones. All cream scones, like literally that is going in here.
Oh, I'm feeling you. Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna get you to do the mixing. I'll just help you out for the beginning. What we do is we make a well in the middle. That's just going to help the mixing process. That's for you over there.
And then this goes
That's
in?
last.
Okay, because scones must be a little bit moist. Because I think
last.
the reason why... well, there you go. The reason why I didn't like them before is because they can be quite dry sometimes.
No.
If they're not made well, they're not going to be great.
The thing with the cream and the fat in this recipe is it really makes it light and fluffy and just so delicious. It isn't... and you don't get that weird, funny, like baking soda kind of taste in your mouth.
No. Okay, so what's
So
that?
this is the baking powder going in here. We've already got a little bit of salt.
In our little well.
So dry ingredients go in and honey. Just that's all the sweetness that's going in. I don't know if you want to help that along there. Just get it all in. The thing with baking, as we know, you really want to get all your ingredients measured out as accurately as possible. And then also, you don't want to waste any of the ingredients. So don't just pour it out and leave half the bowl filled with honey. You really just got to get it all in there.
So baking is one thing and cooking is the other. I mean, when you cook, you can have a little bit of flair and throw in just a pinch of this and a pinch of that.
Exactly.
But with baking, it's actually a science. So you've got to be very precise with what you're putting in.
Absolutely. Where I find the flair when it comes to baking is sort of the finished product, the icing, the sprinkling, the zesting, those sort of things. That's where the fun comes in. Okay, now we're going to start mixing. So the cream goes in. I'm just going to put a little bit in there, and you just so that's exactly what you're doing right in terms of the well. You just kind of work around the well. I'm going to try and not put cream all over you, and let's go swap hands there.
I don't mind.
And then that, and it's not a bad thing. Cleopatra did milk, we do cream.
Exactly.
Okay, then let's get some more in there. Also, a very important thing when it comes to scones is not overworking the dough. So when you really knead it and get into there and just totally overwork it.
To make dough, but I'm not going to overwork your dough.
You kind of end up with a dense, stodgy scone when it bakes. So work it as little as possible and keep that like airiness and lightness about it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to put some flour out onto the table, which we've cleaned earlier, and that's just going to stop it from sticking.
I mean, is this all together?
That's good. So I'm going to take this from you. So we're just going to take it off the spatula here. And literally, I'm going to ask you to hold that for me.
With pleasure.
And dump it out onto the table.
There you go.
You actually don't want to put too much flour onto the table because you're actually adding more flour to your measurements. So.
And then in that event, you can't just add a little bit more water or what?
You could add a little bit more cream, but I would just actually just steer clear away from the flour. Okay, so that's literally.
And now you're going to work it.
Not, like I said, not too much. So that's just the extra flour that we put on the table there. We're just looking for it to come together nicely in a form. And you know what? It actually doesn't have to be completely and utterly perfect. And you just pat it out.
Flour away for you, so we don't have more flour.
I think I overestimated how sticky the dough was.
Okay.
And then
There you go.
That's coming together. And so if you want to take the time and the effort, get your little cookie cutter, cut it out, but I find it quite wasteful when it comes to scones because you end up with the excess, then you end up kneading it back together to cut more shapes out of it.
Don't you just take big chunks and like have those like?
Oh, you can. That's really cool. Go for that one. So what I do, just to sort of save time, save effort, and not waste any, is create a little round like that. Then comes our knife, and we just literally cut, without cutting the table, a little stripe down the middle. Take your flour, that's going to prevent it from sticking. Back again, into the middle.
So these aren't going to look like traditional scones?
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're going to be big, chunky, but you haven't wasted any. The cool thing about these scones as well is that you don't have to make them instantly. So what I do, you take the pieces like this, wrap them up in plastic wrap, pop it into the freezer, and you can literally bake it from frozen. So
if you just want one scone, you just pop it out of the freezer and put it in the oven.
And it's the best thing in the world to do when you've got guests coming over.
Yeah.
So, you know, those impromptu guests and you like, want to impress them, pop a scone out of the freezer, into the oven, and off you go.
Yeah. I just had these fresh scones lying around.
Totally. No, everyone will believe you. You're the best baker in the world.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's that. Onto the tray. I don't know if you help me get that onto the tray.
Of course.
Then on the top goes a little bit of milk or cream, and that's just going to help stick the almonds and also slightly brown them a little bit. So I'm gonna brush, and you're gonna sprinkle.
Sure.
And that's kind of it, eh? But like I said, you can take a little bit of lemon zest, put that over the top. You can take chocolates, put that on, even put chocolate inside.
Girl.
And that's really it. Those are they're just simply delicious scones.
Okay. Nearly done with my nuts.
Ta-da. So about 200 degrees, about 20 minutes. If they're frozen, just be mindful of the fact that it's going to take a little bit longer.
In the oven.
And that goes in the oven.
Off you go, girl. Now remember to cook along with us at home. All of the recipes and shopping lists are on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. For now, let's join Bonnie on the couch with Alexis Chaffe Mey.
In case you've missed it, the Skip Fashion series has been sharing fabulous fashion every Thursday here on Afternoon Express. And today is an extra dose of fabulous. Fashion director Alexis Chaffe Mey is back to share her tips and tricks on looking amazing no matter what the occasion. Welcome back, Alexis. How are you?
It's good to be here. Very good.
Lovely to have you. So this season, Skip is encouraging women to share their fabulous. What does that mean?
Well, women love clothes because it can reveal how we feel, it can pick up our mood, and it can also just make us look and feel gorgeous. So share your fabulous is the slogan of the season because it's important to let your unique style shine through on all occasions. Because it's not just about sharing your love of clothes, it's also about sharing love for yourself.
Wow.
And I think there's quite an important message in that because it's about being proud of who you are and what you wear.
Awesome. Now, for women out there who need help, How do we polish up our natural look so that we feel and look great all the time?
Well, I brought a couple models with me, so we can work through, you know, a couple looks. And the first model is wearing a look that I designed for the place where we normally feel the least fabulous, which is at home on the couch.
Yes,
So
couch
now,
potatoing.
Couch potatoing. Lots of ladies just let it go when no one's around, but
Right.
really you should be dressing for yourself. It's not just for other people. And yes, you can put together a look that is relaxed, that's cozy, that feels good on the skin, but it needs to still match.
Yes.
It needs to be in good condition
yes.
and well cared for.
Yes.
And it needs to, of course, be, you know, comfortable because you are relaxing around the house.
Right.
But if a friend popped by, you wouldn't be greatly embarrassed if you were wearing an outfit
or
like
if you're
this.
chilling with your dude, you know, you don't want him to look over to you and be like,
popping out for the milk.
Yeah.
You know, you need to kind of hold it together, ladies, and still look, you know, that you're wearing something that's well put together.
Now for a place where nobody feels glamorous, the gym.
The gym. Oh, the gym. So this is where I spot all manner of fashion crimes. And normally people tend to wear clothes to the gym that they should have actually thrown out ages ago. The clothing is not well washed or cared for. You know, it's in a real grotty state. And it's not just about wearing designer activewear, which I know can be quite expensive.
Right.
But it's about putting a look together that is flattering.
Although the expensive stuff lasts longer, it's quality.
It does. You know, there is a certain element of investment purchases there.
Yes, yes.
But I do also think that it's about, you know, feeling good in what you're wearing.
Of course.
So wear a flattering outfit, wear a color that you love, and wear something that's going to motivate you. You know, if you're going to throw on that old t-shirt that makes you feel absolutely horrendous, you're not going to feel very confident on the treadmill. It's kind of going to bring you down.
Exactly.
And in my experience, you know, looking good, feeling good does kind of motivate you to achieve your goals.
And to exercise more.
Absolutely, because you're going to want to go to the gym because you feel like you belong there. I think gym wear, you need to just be quite careful with layering the pieces.
Okay.
So, you know, like in this look here, I've kind of played with the longer, tighter piece, but put a pair of shorts over it. It's also
Right.
better for kind of concealing that sweat because sweat doesn't look good on anyone.
No.
And, you know, a darker jacket over the top so that, again, if you need to, like, pop somewhere on the way to the gym, you are looking well put together.
Right. And now for something more serious, the office.
The office. Well, you know, I always say dress for the job that
wow.
you want.
Yes.
You never want to look like the employee that just doesn't make the effort. And I think that really when it comes to office chic, it's about putting together, mixing and matching well-cut, beautiful basics. So invest, again, it's about investment purchases because you do get a lot of money out of your office wear because you're there most of the time.
Right.
So you need to find a great jacket, great pair of trousers, a good pencil skirt, some
Yes.
crisp white shirts, and then, of course, you know, your trench coat is also a good one to wear over the top, especially in winter.
course.
You know, you don't want to have a lovely outfit underneath and then something terrible over your
on top,
shoulders.
yeah. And I love how you've hooked that scarf into the lapels. I've never seen that
Yes, so
been done
this
before.
is a new designer way of tweaking your scarf. And there is, you know, there's a little
Oh.
update every season. But this
Nice.
is definitely, you know, a great way just to wear your scarf. And also just tucking it into the belt. It's also quite a flattering one. A lot of women say, you know, how can they conceal their tummy?
Right.
And this scarf trick is also a great one to do with just a dress and a belt. Just hides that
see.
little middle area.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love this look.
And of course, the shoes. I mean, I always say, you know, a woman can do everything a man can do, but in heels. And I know a lot of women like to wear flats to the office, but a great heel, a good classic court also goes a long way.
Awesome. And now for everyone's favorite, that dinner with friends or date night. What do we
Date
wear?
night. So this really should be an occasion that all women want to dress up for and they get excited about.
Yes.
But the reality is that a lot of women, after a long week, we're all very busy, they're just exhausted. The thought of dressing up is just too much for them. And really, this is when women feel like their wardrobes let them down and they have nothing to wear. So my go-to tip is find a dress that is dark and it is flattering.
Your
And
LBD.
the LBD, you can dress it up, you can dress it down, depending on the occasion. And again, this is where accessories really come in. Because if you're clever, matching, you know, a different necklace, a beautiful jacket, a great pair of statement heels, if you mix and match carefully, no one will realize that you're actually wearing the same dress over and over again. But the key ingredient here is that you feel amazing in it.
Awesome. And obviously you wear comfortable shoes because when night outs are about standing for long periods of time.
Yes. So this season we have the block heel, which let me tell you is far more comfortable than the stiletto.
Of course.
And especially if you slip in a little pair of those little silicone pads under the ball of your foot, also
Oh, yes. To just
added comfort
reinforce
for the whole night.
Perfect. Thank you, Alexis, for those fabulous looks. I'll definitely be taking a page out of your book. There you have it, fabulous style for all occasions. And speaking of occasions, an event not to be missed is the Skip Fashion Exchange happening on Thursday, the 13th of August in Johannesburg. Book your tickets right away, details on screen now, or visit our website, www.afternoonexpress.co.za for more details.
Express yourself.
Skip loves your clothes as much as you do.
Whether you're high or low, you got to chip on the tightrope. Chip on it. 1, 2, 3, now. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, daily skincare can be such a nuisance. Cleansing, scrubbing, moisturizing, using a mask, day creams, night creams, the list goes on. But to help us answer some of the most frequently asked questions is beauty expert and facial therapist Amanda Harrod of SalonCare. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jenny, for having me. That sounded like quite a mouthful, but we're going to make it as simple as possible
Exactly.
today.
But firstly, let's start off with where it's the simplest. How do you know what skin type you are?
That is actually such an intricate question. There's so much to that, and I would just advise that the best way is to ask an expert in store or in a salon where they will be able to establish your skin type and your skin condition and therefore give you the correct advice as to the correct products that you should apply and how to apply them correctly.
And an expert being the person who would do your facials. How important is it to have facials done?
Well, absolutely important because the expert would be able to identify what it is that your skin needs and give your skin that in the treatment. Whereas if you are at home, you won't be able to do specialist sort of steps.
I am a skin beauty freak because I believe that if your skin looks beautiful, you don't need as much makeup and you naturally always just look fresh and young anyway. So it's really the most important thing to look after your skin.
Because makeup should actually complement the skin and not cover the skin.
Exactly. So then let's start off with cleansers. I think it's so important, to cleanse in the morning and before you go to sleep. But am I doing that correctly?
Well, advisable for you to cleanse twice a day, especially if you're a sporty person or athletic. It is always important to get all of that off at night. And in the morning, you have to get off whatever you've applied at night as well. So it is advisable to cleanse both in the morning and in the evening.
Okay, you've brought us some cleansers. What are the differences between them?
Well, you would get a gel-based cleanser. That is for somebody. If we could
that a
just have
foamy
you
one?
test this. Yes. This would be preferable for a person with oily skin.
Okay.
Because gels help to control the oil.
So then would you mix this with water and then it would make a lather?
Absolutely. And as you can see, it spreads already so well without water. So if you had to use water, you would help your cleanser to last.
Yeah. Well, would you use your gel cleanser as a makeup remover?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
You could... No, makeup removers are specifically designed to remove makeup, and obviously if you're wearing false eyelashes and so forth, a gel-based cleanser could
These
be
are
quite
my own,
harsh on
Amanda.
that. And they are gorgeous to me.
Okay, then there's a milky cleanser. What is the difference?
The milky cleanser would be more beneficial to a client who's dry, environmentally damaged, has mature skin, because they need to feed their skin and they need to nourish their skin.
So this is
if you had
for
to feel
softer skin, like...
the texture, yes. When you are getting to a more mature age, you would want something that is gentle on the skin and nourishing. No, you've got a long way to go with that, that's for sure.
Okay.
So that's the feel of a milky cleanser, and you can feel the total difference between a foamy compared to a milky cleanser that will probably feed the skin with a little bit more oil, which is what you would need when you get to that age.
Exactly. Okay, then creams. Day creams, night creams. I mean, is it so necessary to have one of each? Or can I just have a moisturizer that I use in the morning and it's the same one in the evening?
A day cream is formulated differently. It's normally lighter because it's going to be applied underneath your makeup. If you would feel the texture on that. And it should have an SPF factor.
Oh, always. SPF's number one.
Protects you. That's correct. Okay. Whereas your night cream would be richer, more luxurious, nourishing, feeding the skin. The repair process takes place at night. And your night cream will definitely not have an SPF factor. And it is not good for you to be sleeping with an SPF factor on. Your skin needs to take a break from that ingredient.
Oh, really? Why? What does it do?
Well, it's the way an SPF is formulated and the kind of ingredients that go into it, that your skin needs a break from that.
Right.
And night creams definitely have actives because you want for all of the aging process to be slowed down.
Totally. And have the youngest looking arm ever.
So you can feel that how different that is formulated, where it is richer for the skin.
Oh, this is lovely.
I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Okay, then when do you apply eye cream? Do you use an eye cream at night or just during the day? Because that's a huge panic, because this over here, you've got to start with that night cream.
You know, it also depends on the individual. An eye gel is normally favoured by an individual that would have tired eyes, puffy eyes, because an eye gel is normally formulated with ingredients like aloe that would calm that whole area down.
Okay.
If you are suffering with allergies, if you have a certain condition on the eyelids, you can apply an eye gel over that. Whereas you wouldn't be able to do that with an eye cream because it's too nourishing and it is too rich and extremely active.
Which ones takes the wrinkles away?
Well, both. Both could be anti-aging, but the eye gel is normally favoured by a younger individual.
All right, well, thank you very much for these lessons. Now, we've started those scones, and what better to accompany them than a cup of tea? Let's see what Bunny has in the kitchen for us.
Much like the art of blending wine, tea is also blended to achieve flavour consistency time and time again. Only a select number of tea masters are entrusted with the unique 5 Roses recipe. Today, we're joined by one of those special tea masters. Hello, Dinesh. Welcome.
Hello.
So, you are the current 5 Roses tea master. Yes, please tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from Sri Lanka. I came to South Africa 15 years ago. I've been in the tea trade for just over 30 years now. I joined the tea trade, I think, was quite natural. My father was a tea master. My 2 uncles were tea planters or tea farmers. And I guess that's where my passion grew for tea.
So it's definitely a family affair with you, huh?
Absolutely.
Could you give us a broad overview on how you go about blending tea?
Tea is a natural beverage. What nature gives us is what we get.
Right.
So blending actually starts at the point of buying tea. We need to taste the tea and we need to look for different attributes in the tea like flavor, aroma, color, fullness, body, liveliness, briskness. So we have to look for all of these attributes and then we choose what teas we are to purchase. After we've purchased the tea, we pick all of these attributes and mix the tea. So what we try to do is keep 5 Roses as consistent as possible throughout the year, going through its various seasonalities, so that the end consumer gets a finished product that they have come to love and trust.
That's amazing. There are an array of flavours available. Can you just take us through some of them?
Well, we have an English breakfast, which is a blend of pure Ceylon tea. It's a delicate, smooth tasting tea.
Definitely one of my favourites.
Thank you. And then we have the Prince of Wales, which is a more robust, a more stronger tea. Then we go on to our Earl Grey, which originated as a fashion in England, where one of the earls started adding the flavour of bergamot into black tea and mixing it, and that's where you get Earl Grey. It's a unique flavour.
I know a secret about Earl Grey. The bergamot in the Earl Grey is an antidepressant.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
So if you're feeling low, you can have a cup of Earl Grey and it'll pick you up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then from there, black tea has been used to blend other flavours like lemon and orange and all those popular flavours that you see. And then, of course, green tea, which is known for its health benefits.
Right. This whole world of tea is opening up to me. But while I let you enjoy your cup of tea, did you know that tea is such a versatile drink and can not only be enjoyed as a hot beverage, but also used as a flavouring in recipes? Now, our extraordinaire chef, Claire, is going to share a very special recipe where tea is the star ingredient. What are we making, Claire?
The star ingredient indeed. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a serious tea fundi. I love tea. Absolutely. Anyone who know me will know that on my desk I actually have a tea tray filled with all sorts of different types of tea. I do indeed.
I'll be visiting your office a lot.
Okay, so what we've done is we just started to boil our milk over here. Okay. So we want the milk nice and hot because we're going to take our 5 Roses tea bag. We're just going to tear off the top.
You're going to tear? Okay.
Tear off the top and we're going to use the tea directly from the bag so that it infuses into that milk and just creates fantastic flavour. We're going to let that steep for a little bit of time and just really draw out all that flavour from the tea leaves. Then, while you sort of look after that, I'm going to just cream our sugar over here. So we're going to pop the sugar in the bowl.
Okay.
With 3 eggs. And once that sort of steeps a little bit, what you can do is actually add the butter to the milk, so then it melts the butter just a little bit. Wow. So what you can see is that the color of the tea just sort of infusing into the milk, and you know that milk's going to be full of beautiful flavors.
Okay. The tea looks like it's the right color.
Yeah, it's looking fantastic. Do you want to add the butter into that?
Add all the butter.
We're just going to add our baking powder into our already sifted flour.
Right.
That goes in there, and then just mix that up. Fantastic. So that's that. It's okay for
this
making a little
smells
bit of a mess.
so lovely. I had no idea you could put tea leaves in
absolutely
when baking.
Absolutely. And this is just the most perfect accompaniment to the perfect cup of tea, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, so I've added a little bit of flour in here. Do you want to pour a little bit in here? So we're just going to alternate the flour and the milk. So let's get a little bit in there. Okay. And you can pour a little bit of the milk.
Enough?
Perfect.
Baking. I'm so excited.
Do you know what's also fabulous is to add tea to your biscuit mixtures. Delicious.
Oh, I can
Do you want to add some more of the milk there?
Yes, I can imagine that. That would taste quite good.
All of it? You want to get all those tea leaves in there because that's the flavour, that's it. And then the rest of our flour in there. Do you want to carry on mixing that?
Yes, I'll mix.
That's looking great. So now what we're going to do is just take, I use this just because it makes for a nice
measurement.
Okay. And then you just spoon that in there.
Oh, Claire, you make everything look so easy.
So once that's finished.
Okay, so we've got some ready prepared ones.
Exactly. I'm just going to bring that over here. And I'm going to ask you to try your hand at icing.
Okay, I've got to squeeze really hard. Okay.
And get the piping bag as straight up as possible. And then that'll allow you to sort of you're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a perfectionist.
Looks great.
Ta-da! Thank you.
Fantastic tea cupcakes to enjoy with your cup of tea.
Of course. Now, I can't wait to taste them, so I'm going to take 2 for Dinesh and I.
And I
you,
can eat all
Claire,
these?
And you can eat all of those and get fat. Here we go, Dinesh. I've got a cupcake for you, all made of tea. There we go. Thank you so much for all your insights on tea making and tea blending and just the wonderful world of tea.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Wow, who knew? You can now have your cake and drink it.
Any occasion, anytime. Nobody makes better tea than you and 5 Roses.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express here on 3. Joining us now is one of South Africa's rising stars of fashion. Her designs have gained a keen interest both in Africa and the United States. She showcased her menswear collection at SA Menswear Fashion Week recently, which features a selection of Spring-Summer 2016 collections from designers locally and across the African continent. With me now is Julia Mpoko. Welcome to the Loft, Julia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, your label is called Moko Ilosa. What does that mean?
Well, Moko is a word that means one in Lingala, and Lingala is one of the native languages spoken in Congo.
In Congo, right.
And that kind of symbolizes unity. And Ilosa is my grandmother's maiden name. And I think I got a lot of my fashion inspiration from her.
That's incredible. So you've now just debuted a menswear range. What brought you to that place?
I've always wanted to do menswear, actually. And I think that influence probably comes from my dad. He's a very suave kind of guy. And his clothes always look so nice, so neat, and he's always just, on point. So I think the inspiration for menswear definitely came from that. And I've always drawn a lot of my personal style from menswear, and I love tailoring. So it only made sense for me to kind of branch into menswear.
I can totally relate to that because my fashion sense is very much influenced by kind of menswear look, and my color palette's very muted. Are you influenced at all by international trends, or do you feel like you want to be one to influence trends globally?
A little bit of both. As an up-and-coming designer, it's always good to kind of look to those that have already made it in the design industry and those who are setting the trends to kind of know, where you're going to go. And after that, you kind of develop your own sense of style and your own identity.
Yes. And it evolves, of course.
It does, definitely. So I'm definitely influenced by trends, and I'd love to be someone
Be
who
an
sets
influencer yourself.
trends as well. Yeah.
Now, Julia, you've brought along your latest range. Please take us through it.
Sure.
Wow, what do we have here?
And all my looks are very, very simple. With my brand Mokwe Losa, I wanted to create a collection and a brand that was very subtle and unobtrusive in its detail, very minimal but clean with refined tailoring. Something that's very easy to wear, versatile. It's a little bit androgynous as well. I think I created looks that I wanted to be able to wear as well.
And what do we have here?
Okay, this is my little all-white look. The collar for the shirt was influenced by Mandarin collars.
Yes.
And that's where the Japanese design aesthetic sort of kind of comes in and the influence. And I wanted to just kind of play around with a little bit of asymmetry, which is something that you'll see a lot with Mokwe Losa. And yeah, I just wanted to create a look that was very white. Well, it is white, but that's very clean, very simple, and that you can kind of dress it up in your own way with the shoes, with jackets.
Wow, this is gorgeous. Just because, like, I think navy blue is the new black.
It really is. It really, really is.
I love that detail at the back of the jacket as well.
There's a lot of asymmetrical detail that goes on. So I like to maybe, if there's, for example, like the back detail, you won't see it on both sides. You'll only see it on the one side. And if he takes off his jacket, the shirt that's underneath is also influenced by, it's actually slightly influenced by a kimono, the whole wrap situation that happens with kimonos. So I wanted to play around with that with the shirt.
You're the second designer on the show today who said that they're influenced by the Japanese style. Why do you think that is?
I think when I was kind of getting the inspiration together for this collection, I was looking at a variety of different things. And I came across just elements of Japanese design, and I realized that two of them that stood out for me was Shibui and Kanzo, which is what the collection is titled, and that translates to subtle simplicity, eliminating all elements of clutter. So I like to draw inspiration from, you know, Japanese culture without it being obviously Japanese. So it's like, wow, that's so Japanese. It's just in its detail.
In general, it seems like design across the board is moving towards less clutter and more simplicity, just moving down to the core, the basics of what it is.
And that's really what I wanted to bring across with my brand and with this collection.
Wow. What would you say to young South Africans who want to go into design and they feel like it's a difficult industry or that it's really tough at the beginning? Any words of inspiration and encouragement?
To not give up. I know it sounds really cliche, but I think that's some of the best advice that I got was to work hard, to push for your dreams, because I mean, a year ago, I would have never thought that I'd be sitting on this show, you know, showing my collection. And it's just through hard work, dedication. And it is hard. It's definitely not an easy industry, but it's, if you work hard and you're persistent,
it's possible.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Julia. We definitely love your range.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
If you want any more information on any of our fashion designers today, make sure you head to our website, www.afternoonexpress.co.za. Let's join Jeannie in the kitchen with those scones.
Thanks, Bunny. And your cupcakes aren't looking too bad either. So now we're going to make the accompaniment to our scones.
We're also posh in here, aren't we? So this is the lemon curd. So it's a delicious mix between, let's call it a jam and a custard. So with all the purpose of a jam, so spreading, filling, all that, but the ingredients of a custard.
Okay,
so we've got our eggs. We're just going to whisk those up a little bit.
I've never had lemon curd before in my life.
It's extremely zingy and zesty because there's tons of lemon in it, a little bit of sugar, eggs, and then butter. We slowly add that in later, but I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so we're mixing this up. You want to pop all that sugar in there?
A little bit of sugar, she says.
It's a whole lot of sugar just because, like I said, we're adding a lot of lemon. So you really have to sort of offset that extreme zinginess. Okay, and then goes the lemon. Do you want to just sort of, let's take probably one of those. Yeah, over there. You can just juice another one into here. Probably about 2 lemons we're aiming for in this recipe. And then this goes onto the heat. We've just got a double boiler here that's kind of a little bit...
This is a really good juicer, by the way.
Yeah. Technical term, lemon reamer. If we're getting all posh in the kitchen, we may as well use that word.
Okay.
Okay, so like I said, this is just
Am I
simmering
throwing
away.
this
Dump it all in. Go for it. Don't be scared of those pips, because later we're going to strain them, so it's fine.
Fab.
Ooh, there's me making a mess. So just give that a little bit of whisk, and then this goes onto the double boiler. You really want to be careful of the heat. So what the egg's going to do is it's going to help coagulate and thicken the custard.
How is this working, though? Is it the steam that's...
Exactly.
Okay.
That's all you want is the steam. You want the steam to heat the bottom of the bowl, and that's all the heat you're looking for. As soon as it starts sort of like getting all kind of furious and steaming out the sides, turn it down.
That's too much.
Turn it down. Okay, so that we whisk and whisk and whisk. I'm not going to lie to you, it takes a long time to whisk.
Yeah, but that's why you're able to make all these delicious things and you still get these gorgeous tiny little arms.
I'll show you guys later in my biceps. Okay, so for the sake of not boring everyone at home, we've got one over here that we've just been whisking up. You can see the consistency is instantly, well, not instantly, like I said, 20 minutes later or so, changed, and it's just thickened up a little bit there. So you're looking for that.
So just for our viewers at home, if you are making this at home with us, you're legitimately going to be doing this over that for the next 20 minutes.
And
enjoy.
The sure thing as to when it's ready, it sounds very technical. It's not as scary as it sounds, I promise. But it's with the whisk, you see the bubbles sort of start like this. The bubbles kind of froth up. A sure thing is when it's starting to get ready, is those bubbles just disappear, literally disappear, and then you end up with like a thin, tiny little bubble, and that's pretty much it. Thick, ready to go. Take it off. We're gonna swap these out. Pop that over here.
Okay.
And then you literally start adding the butter, which we've forgotten in the fridge.
You can definitely feel it is thick. Okay, you grab the butter in the fridge. I will keep on whisking this so that we don't get lemony eggs. Okay, and then pop the butter in while I keep on whisking.
Cold butter.
Yeah.
Pop sort of tiny little small cube-sized pieces, and that melts in. The reason it's cold is because it's going to cool down our lemon curd and start to thicken up instantly. And you don't want it to just melt and end up in a sort of oily, gooey mess.
Okay,
let's go with the spoon. It's going to make our life easier.
How many do we throw in?
1 or 2 at a time. You just slowly whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk.
And if you don't have little squares at home, how much would you use? A cup of butter?
No, literally, you take the block, buy a block, and just chop them up into little squares. And then put it back in the fridge until you're ready to use them.
Great.
And that's kind of it. We're just going to slowly whisk. Like I said, this is one of those fabulously laborious recipes. It's worth it, I promise. And then until it all melts in and it thickens up, and you can pop it back into the fridge, and that's ready for spreading onto your toast.
Okay, how about you do this now? Now remember to find all of the recipes and shopping lists on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Express yourself.
South Africa, are you with us?
Welcome back to Afternoon Express on 3. So the Durban July took place last weekend, and the theme was at the captain's table. It was quite a fun afternoon, and I mean, as you can imagine, all of that exceptional fashion. Did you enjoy your time? It was your first July.
First of all, it was my first July. I cannot believe how hectic it is. Apparently, there was about 100,000 people there. Did you know that?
And did you wear comfortable shoes?
I wore very comfortable shoes.
You see, was that not the best advice?
So sensible. It definitely was, yeah.
So I must tell you, your outfit was ridiculous. I mean, it was just so beautiful. That headpiece, you looked like an absolute goddess from Game of Thrones.
Thank
but I wanted to know how your interpretation
of the theme.
So did you.
I absolutely loved your dress, although I knew what you were going to wear before then.
Okay, so what was your interpretation of the theme?
Well, I just kind of went like out of the box, really.
Yeah, you wore black coffee. Hey?
Yeah, I wore black coffee, and I liked, I'm a Star Wars fan. And so that whole thing for me was so celestial and so Star Wars, reminded me of Princess Leia from Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you, how did you interpret it?
Well, I liked that Catherine Kidger dress that we actually had on the show a few days before the Durban July. And I said to her, oh, I'm taking that, I'm wearing that. And it was absolutely gorgeous because, I mean, at the captain's table, it's a very difficult theme, really, to interpret.
It is.
So I just kind of imagined myself with the captain on a yacht in Saint-Tropez.
The captain.
The captain.
The owner of the yacht.
So, the owner of the yacht, of course.
And
so
who
that's
are your
what I wore.
favourites?
I must be honest, Pearl Tusi looked absolutely
Pearl Tusi,
incredible. I loved that she went for that, Ice Queen coming out of the water.
And then she did a blue lip with it. Yeah,
Genius.
which really popped,
Yeah. And funny enough, and here's some scandal for you, I was meant to be doing a gig with Pearl that day.
Yeah.
And what happened was she came to me and her hair was all done quite like Diana Rossi and all tied up. And I said, I love what you've done with your hair. She said, no. My hair girl actually dropped me on the last minute because obviously it was so busy.
Yes.
And she said she was meant to have her hair up in a high ponytail with the long hair coming down. And she couldn't get anybody to do her hair earlier that day, so she had to do it herself. Shame, first world problems.
Yeah.
But it looked amazing.
And it actually worked out in the end.
Absolutely gorgeous, yeah.
Another firm favourite of mine was Nomzamo Mbata. She wore that red...
Oh, so elegant.
That cape.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It was absolutely gorgeous. So classy.
Tamara Day is always a fashion favourite of mine because she's such a star.
She goes very edgy.
It's always.
Her hair was
completely
immaculate. I was speaking to her and I kept like staring into her bun.
And how good is her makeup?
It was incredible.
Permanently. Tamara Day, we love you. We can't wait to have you on the show. She's absolutely incredible. It was very geisha inspired.
Yes, it was. Another person I absolutely loved was Loot Love.
Oh, yeah?
She had like a very matrix...
I didn't see her. What was she wearing?
She wore like I saw a white shirt and I saw this long matrix-inspired kind of coat. But apparently this year, the boys really outdid themselves.
Okay, so I was saying that actually on the day that the men stepped up, they absolutely looked incredible. But they were dressed like gentlemen. That's what I really thought. They were textured, they were layered, they were hats. Maps Mapanyane. I'm not married yet. You always just nail it. That was
kills
absolutely
that
brilliant.
suit. He just... I love a man in a good suit.
Now, we've got guests and we've got scones.
Yes,
so you go and check up on them.
on.
Thank you. Another one of my fern favourites at the races this year was, of course, Bonang. Her yellow dress was so magnificent that I would want to wear it to an event, except I'd be put in one of those who wore it best categories. Now, would you love to experience a day in the life of Bonang? From seeing her in action on her radio show to hanging out with us right here in the loft, then make sure you catch our Revlon Foundation Friday series right here on Afternoon Express and enter our competition on Twitter. Tweet us a picture of you holding your Revlon Colour Stay Foundation at Afternoon Chat using our hashtag Foundation Fridays and the hashtag #LoveIsOn. And you and a +1 could win the ultimate celebrity experience where you'll be treated to 24 hours of luxury Bonang style. Don't miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so get snapping.
Wow, that really sounds amazing. But you're quite the jet setter yourself, little missy, because Jeannie recently travelled to Germany to catch up with British singer James Bay. Catch up on all her European adventures tonight on Top Billing at 7:30 on 3. Also on the show, Lorna spends the day with Dumisho Masha and his wife, who are just about to have a baby. And of course, for the ladies, Jonathan travels to London to speak to the steaming hot cast of Magic Mike XXL. Speaking of steaming hot, those scones look just about ready. Jeannie, hurry up, the scones are ready. Well done. Look at how they turned out.
Beautiful and
So
golden
gorgeous.
with just a little bit extra.
Ooh, yummy.
Oh, that lemon curd
How's
over
that
there.
lemon curd?
Looking delicious.
I've never had lemon curd before in my entire life.
Good?
Yummy.
That's lemony, Claire. There's lots of lemon in this lemon curd.
Oh, wow, okay.
Wow. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, and your collections look incredible. And now we give you carbs. Afternoon Express is where fashion and carbohydrates become one.
Effortlessly too.
Put a dollop of the lemon curd on there.
A little bit of butter. You can't have a scone without some butter.
Oh yeah, there's the butter. Somebody actually tweeted me earlier saying, I want to know what happens to all of the food on the show. And I can guarantee you that not one crumb goes to waste because it always is so delicious that everybody ends up eating all of it. Well, thank you all so much for joining us in our loft, and thank you for joining us. Afternoon Express will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. on SABC3. I unfortunately will not be in the loft, but everybody else will be here taking good care of you. So have a wonderful evening. Happy eating. Ta-da! Bye!
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we share some makeup tips for date night. Local actress Rolanda Murray joins us on the couch. And electro swing group Good Luck treat us to a live performance.
Another feel-good production.
Join us next time for more fabulous fun inspired by First for Women on Afternoon Express. For an insurance quote, call 0861 11 18 44 or SMS FIRST to 49267.